Hey listeners, long time no video. I wanted to do a little video just to open up about stuff. And I've been realizing what has been happening to me throughout my life. And if you've been through being the black sheep, experiencing mental abuse and emotional abuse and whatnot, it's very confusing to grasp, especially when there's cycles of 1 minute you're good, you feel like you're finally starting to build that connection you always long for, right? With a parental figure who is in this cycle, doing this cycle to you. And you start to feel like you can trust them. You start to feel like, oh, maybe we can build this together again. And then you start to feel happy, open-hearted, comfortable, and you start to feel like your inner child can possibly gain affection from a parent, because parents are meant to give you affection. They're meant to be loving. They're meant to be caring. They're meant to be wanting to know who their child is and wanting to know about their life and wanting to know them and wanting to experience them as a person and to know who they are, right? And you start to get your hopes up. But then it kind of crashes. For me, I notice the parent, my mother, gets irritated at me shining my light. And I have kind of learned this. So I kind of do things to make sure she doesn't have a reason to give out to me. But then she just has this irritableness kind of rumbling still there, and I notice it. I've been observing this cycle, and then she finds a reason to give out and a reason to be disrespectful, to say what she really feels, instead of hiding behind this, I don't know what it is. Because while we are bonding, she makes it very evident that she wants me to give to her, while I feel like she hasn't really given to me. So why would I? I'm trying to see if I can trust you. I'm trying to see whether we can build a connection together, and to see if I feel comfortable around you. And obviously, if I do give. That's what I always do. But so there was that pressure on it as well. And then maybe on top of being irritable at my light, she's also wanting me to give to her fully straight away. People please. I don't do that anymore. I'm not going to people please my way for you to love me. I'm not doing that. I've always stood up for myself. Always been that child who's trying to fight against her pushing me down. That's always been the way that I was and am. And she never liked that, of course. Like, I'm not going to have someone tell me that I should live in a state of fear. And with this cycle, going back to the main point, is that then when she notices that and isn't getting access to that fully as she would like, and energetically draining me, and me putting up boundaries to make sure she doesn't energetically drain me, she finds a reason to put me in a lower state to energetically drain me, which it ends up working because I do get bothered by it. You know, I tried to build a connection and then it just gets thrown in my face over and over. And as a teenager, I used to spiral really deeply into a very deep depression and very harsh on myself. I didn't really understand what was happening, and now I do, and it hurts. Like, it's so horrible, this cycle, and how it affected me. And I feel like I'm on the last stages. Like, she doesn't want to talk to me. I do try to talk, and she just makes me feel crazy, and like my behavior of me trying to open up about the disrespect that's happening gets pushed as I'm being crazy or whatever. I'm just causing trouble when I don't want to take shit anymore. I don't, and I don't feel like I deserve that. And if she can't meet me at that level, then I'm done. And that's how I kind of view it. And I feel like I'm just at the last stages of this cycle, because right now we're not talking, but she's very much happy with this. And she's calling other people while bothering me, like in the sense of passive aggressively. Like, she can't even listen to me be happy with my siblings. She will call everyone, and if she doesn't, she gets bothered that she can't laugh in front of my face. As a kid, she used to say, like, you know, you have to laugh to kind of get back at people. Like, that laughing will hurt them in a sense. Like, you pretend you're okay. So I know that's her go-to thing. And I don't know how else to describe it. She said it in different words. But you see, I did have a sense of what this behavior was. I did see that as a young teenager that she had narcissistic tendencies. But then I forgot about it and totally just blamed myself and went into a deep spiral of trying to just unalive myself and hurting myself really badly, because I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't understand how someone could be so cruel and then act like it's my fault when all I was ever trying to do was just get respect, to be treated as a human, to be loved, cared. And it never worked out. And it backfired a ton. So I'm in this state of being in a silent treatment again, and I don't want to talk to her anymore after this. I'm trying to get my own house. And why I'm sharing this is because I've gone to the point where I see what is happening. I see it. And I'm sharing it so anyone else who's in this confused state can start to see it as well. Because it's so confusing. Like, you go through that state and then you see they try to talk to you again, act like everything's normal, and then it's just the same stupid cycle. And for me, it's like they can't stand seeing you shine. They can't stand seeing you be a beam of light. They can't stand seeing you in your power. So eventually they do put it down if they aren't gaining something from you being in that state. And I wanted to say it in words because it's so confusing when it's just stuck in the head, in the sense of like you're not getting out, you're not saying it to anyone, and it's just there, and it's like hard to put into words because it's all mental play, it's all emotional play. It's not like she's physically hurting me, but it's cycles of this and cycles of putting me down, and it sucks, and I'm done with it. I want to move out, even though it's scary. I'm doing all I can to make that happen, and hopefully have a safe space for my siblings as well. And you know, you get to the point where you realize like you deserve to feel safe, and you deserve to have actual companionships instead of people who make you feel shit and not want to get to know you and all of that stuff, which is odd behavior from a parent. But you get to a point where you see that you deserve more beyond this behavior, and that no one deserves what is happening. You don't deserve to feel like you're too hard to get to know, or that you're bad even though you're just a human that isn't perfect. And it's so confusing to kind of word it all. But I have a lot of work to do, but I can't do it here. Because when I try, then it kind of gets shut down. And I do the work, and I do know that my inner state is in a much better place. It's just the environment is not matching it, and you gotta go. So yeah. I feel like I'm on the last push to getting out, and I'll get out, hopefully. My biggest motivation is to have a safe space for my siblings and myself, so I can be who I truly am, without someone being jealous of my light or jealous of me shining and other people acknowledging that, because the irritation happened after I said, a lady gave me kittens to hold, and she was just, I didn't even ask her, and I could tell she was irritated at that. But that's just jealous behavior, and you don't deserve to have people who are jealous just to see you shine and want to dim that. That's not right. No one deserves that. And yeah, thought I'd share this in case anyone else is going through this as well, with someone who has narcissistic tendencies or tendencies to put you down and dim your light out of jealousy or whatever other reason. And I'm beginning to see that my lack of social skills is due to neglect, and also due to not being given space to fully open up. And it's not just my mother, it's the whole dynamic that my mother created against me and my sister as well. As my sister would put me down as well. But you aren't alone in this. And you can grow beyond this as well. You just need to get yourself out of the environment. Believe that you can fight for you and pull yourself out of the situation. Like your protector side. Talking to that inner version of you that comes out when you're open-hearted. That protector part can fight to get you where you need to be in life. And the first jump is always scary, but you got this.